Wait, I didn't share the shout. Oh my god. I thought you have 2 minutes for the music. It's fine. I can compensate for you. We can compensate for you. Yeah, I'm generous on this. Okay. So now let's come back to social agenda. Yeah, maybe we can do that. Okay. So welcome everyone back to the campaign review. Right now we're gonna have like around like 40 minutes something to work on this. My expectation again, this will not a space where I talk with you about a lot of knowledge because I for sure that I already talked with you about a lot about it a lot, and then I know that you have done some campaigns and then maybe right now you are better than me already. So it's gonna be also another Tuesday of marketing team, but then I also hope that I can give you some of my sharing and my learning from my sharing. So in case you don't know me, yes. Okay, so in this campaign review, we're gonna have time to talk about the burning question. Then we can have time to review the campaigns based on the checklist. And also we can have time to do some quick record analysis. And we're gonna do it together, like you can share in the space that we can learn from each other. Now, first, the burning question. What are the burning questions that we usually have? So I just want to ask you that is there any viral campaign that you usually like that you like the most? It can be the campaign in Isaac or it also can be the campaign outside. Can you put in the chat that which campaign that you can share some campaign that you like the most? You can put it in the chat. Playing for later with Isaac. Oh my god, yes, this is a very Isaacer um Kaburi Diwa at Diwali. Oh, I don't know this one. Maybe it's also a good one. Then that's why you suggest. Anyone else? Is there any viral campaign that you really like? Okay, maybe you can have some campaign that you really like. Like for example, yesterday I shared with you about a campaign of Lego that they talk about in the COVID, or you can see a lot of campaign of like Coca-Cola. They when they talk about taste feeling. Well, I talk about Coca-Cola because they are one of the market leader in the market. So most of the campaign of Coca-Cola is very cool. Pepsi with Blackpink as representative. Live the way you want. Sorry. Yes, exactly. Live the way you want. Oh, yes. So I think this brand they usually have a very good campaign, a very viral campaign, and I want you to remember about the feeling, the thinking that when you see this campaign, and then when you feel touched or when you feel amazed or attracted by this campaign, is it because the campaign talking about some message that you really want it, you really like it, like live the way you want, for example. So this is something that most of the young people feel very connect with. Or maybe when like you share the campaign for the Pepsi with Blackpink, for example, then I think it's very attractive because they use most of the big influencer when talking about it, so you feel attractive about it. So thinking about the feeling that when, or the thinking or what you're feeling when you see a viral campaign from the market leader, from the top company, and think about how are we doing the campaign, how can we do the campaign that also deliver the same feeling, the same excitement for the audience when they can see our campaign on social media. It also can be with our set campaign, but when we do it in a very different way. Um, and in here, when we're talking about a campaign, one of the most important thing that I want to mention for you is if you want to actually for a campaign that can touching the feeling of other people, it's have coming from a good analytic, a good analysis of the campaign of the brand team of the agency team and a lot of team together. So analytical thinking is a very important competency of marketer that if you want to run a good campaign, you need to have a good analytic on what is the thing the customer thinking, how is the campaign going. can we connect with the customer from this campaign or not? So this can help you define if you are doing well or not. And I just want to share with you some of my experience on working on a campaign, and then I hope it can give you some also idea and suggestion on how I actually use the analytical thinking, or how I can actually from the analysis we changing our direction. And maybe we don't have a viral campaign, but then at least we have a better campaign that we want. So let meet me 2 years ago. I don't know if you know this in my this be MCBB. This in me 2 years ago. Some of you, if you don't know, the next sit next to me also my friend Mar. She basically the MCBB OGV Vietnam as well, and also she also ABRM 1819. Yes, she very famous with the quote like "Hello people" when she coming into any room. She very energetic. And here's Irene. If you are coming from Malaysia, you probably know her because she's your OTV as well. So at this time, I also running the campaign with my DSP, and we also facing a lot of planning, a lot of trouble. At this time, the first thinking that is crossed in my mind is we are so unlucky. Why everything in my life is so unlucky. The God doesn't love us. The God doesn't love our OTV, our entity. But then actually this is just a first thinking. The later thinking when we start to like not getting thing feeling or dramatic, then we start to sit down and think about there must be a reason that why the campaign keep going wrong and keep going wrong, even we trying a lot of ways. Even that the God love us or not, yes, we know that the God doesn't love us already. But then now we need to find a way out to for ourselves without the love from the God or the sky or someone. So I just want to show with you some key data and let you know what is the thing that we have done at that time. So the audience that we have done in this time is the third and fourth year. The content that we have done is here. This is some of the data that I have in this period of time. And this is the funnel data of startup contribution and applicant contribution. I want to ask you, I will give you 2 minutes to look into all of the data here and let's tell me what's going wrong with this campaign. So you can share, or you can open your mic to share, or you can put in the chat. You have 2 minutes. Oh, it's gonna be the time for me to come and say you with the song. If you put it the target audience and the actual outcome, then let's think why it's going wrong. Okay. Okay, so that's a almost 2 minutes of a good sound for you. Yeah. Can someone share or open your mic to share something? Maybe Shaga, you can share. I see you writing. Campaign in us often.
Okay, so at least over here it says like 30% of the sign up funnel is first and second year. and then the people who are converting from that is okay. Okay, I might be wrong in this, but like
It's
I
fine.
think like the first year and second year students have a bigger, like a better chance of converting than the third year and fourth year students. So I think they can optimize the campaign according to that. And another thing, at least in the content mentioned, I don't see like a call to action. So I guess like the campaign was more um was had like an aim to probably get more reach rather than like a conversion driven campaign.
Mm, okay, that also can be a point. I see Min also type that target audience and actual outcome. I think he also have a similar idea. Anyone else? Do you think is there any I think it's a good opinion. Is there anyone else you can see other wrong things in this result? No? Or you can type like, oh, I don't know, Ni, please tell me the answer for some. No? Okay. Yes, this totally fine because you were obviously me from beginning. Yes, I see that you can see one part of it. If first the funnel is not as we expect. For example, the conversion rate of the first year and the second year is higher than the third year and the fourth year, because you can see that with lesser contribution of the sign up from first year and second year, we have almost the same with the contribution in applicant. But then for very high contribution of up to of 30 and 4 year, then we have lesser contribution of applicant, which means that the setup of 30 and 4 year we are ringing is not converting. So this is the first insight that we have, and I think that you also can easily see this part. But then when we're going back and then we see why this happened, so we keep asking ourselves another question, and then we look into yes, in the local level and in the way of we doing seminar, it's not very clear that it's clearly that we are very targeting on the 30 and the fourth year only, and then but then we didn't know that we can also do a do an information seminar that can reaching to first year and second year. So we are only focused in this target audience, but then the result is like it's not turned as out expected. Another thing that we also look into in the data is in the content. So you can see here the relevance score of the content is 7.528. So this is a very good content relevance score. If you can get like above 7, which means the content is very connect with the audience. And we do the content for the third year and the fourth year, which is very connect and very relevant. But then why everything is not going well? Because you can look into the frequency, which is 3 to 4 times, which means that the content is relevant. But then the audience is seeing the content is they keep seeing it and then they keep seeing it for 3 or 4 times, which is we don't reaching out the new people. And this is the point where we can see that we are keep reaching the 30 and the fourth year, and they are not, they are kind of saturated and they are consider Isaac as the experience that they can go for the future, but then not right now. So which means that the content, even the relevance score is high, but then the frequency is too high as well, which means we don't reaching out the new people and we don't having new people into the funnel. And that's why we even we have a better conversion in the first year and second year, but then the contribution of the startup is lesser. And which means of course in total we're gonna have lesser result where we didn't put the right focus in the right target audience. And also you can see the CBM is the cost per impression, which is higher than last year, because I remember in the end of the year, you usually have what? You have Shopee, Lazada, a lot of e-commerce platform when they do sale campaign, right? And I'm pretty sure for you that if you do a lot of ads in this period of time, you cannot beat them because they have billion of money to put in the campaign in this period of time. So that's why in this period of time, the more we spend for ad, the more money we burning, and then we get nothing. And the CBM is the cost that we need to pay for is getting more and higher. So which means that we are burning the money at this period of time, and that we are not focusing on the right people at this period of time. So this is the thing that's going wrong with the campaign. Not only one thing, many things. From here, actually, what we have done in this period of time is we need to think about, yes, we are not focusing on the right target audience. We need to change the Bibles now. We need to change the focus. And also we didn't do a drop. And if we need to change the focus, we need to find another way that if what else we can do besides running the ad or create the content or doing the physical attraction. Yes, define the tactic to target new audience. Oh, sorry. Animation. Yes. So it's very complicated, but then the solution is very simple. First, the DSP need to fix the ad content and the content on the social so that we can tag it to the people that not only graduate or not only third year, but we can looking for the first year and second year. For so this is my DSP people. For me, this is me. Yes, I'm a lady, and then what I'm trying to do is you can see the ladies doing the call, right? So at this time I do the phone call for the LC every single day to tell them that, hey, we need to fix the physical attraction, and then we need to fix the local marketing and sales funnel in this period of time, because we cannot just doing the inform seminar to target in the audience. We need to do forum sitting for different and to the first year and second year, because this is the one that's giving us the result. And maybe the target audience originally is already saturated and not working anymore. So the LC, the one that address the marketing, sales, and tactic. So it's very simple. Like we just, oh, this is the thing we're not doing well, then we fix it. The tactic, nothing complicated. So what we learned from this is, oh, sorry, not we learned from this. Also another story that I also want to share with you is when I was the OCB Youth Speak and we run the campaign. So you can see some familiar face here. You can see the Jung from IGV Malaysia. You can see main marketing Vietnam, and I hope that you can find me in this picture. Yes, this used to be my Youth Speak team. We do it very cool. Now back to the main point. In this period of time, we do an event promotion for Youth Speak forum. What's happened at this time is at the beginning of the term, we do a lot of things. Like we do media, we launching the event, we do a lot of stuff, and then we try to do a lot of things. But then there's were a lot of stuff happen in the beginning of the use week where I need to fire my marketing manager, and then we restructure, and then I need to jump into the marketing team for in the middle of the way to support them and to solve the problem, and then find a new marketing manager. So it's a lot of drama happen at this time. So which means that we are late on the launching and we fail. But then how we still can get enough people to the forum if we already fail in the most important touch point and we have no way to going back to the time. So what we have done at this time is we also do another data analysis. So this time when I find a new marketing manager, and she very, very good as well, she's very amazing. She's now also working in a big company. We did what we have done is we look into the data of the sign up for the event in the last year. We realized that in the past previous year, even we have many high number of event for sign up for event or even very low, then we actually still can see a common trade between all of the like event promotion for the USpeak for the USpeak forum. That actually in the whole timeline, there are 3 periods of time that you're gonna get 80% of your sign up. And if we can focus on this 3 period of time, then we can already achieve our goal already. Then we don't need to, then we can see, oh, actually we have a chance to make it up and to still achieve for it. And our role is need to find what is the chance and what is the period of time that we can compensate for the failed result that we already have done. And we only have 4 weeks left, and then how we can make it happen and put all the effort on the reallocation of our brain and our mind in this period of time. So we figure out that this is the second period of time that we can get the sign up, which is when we launch the KOL, the guest speaker of the event, because the influencer is one of the most important things that attract most of the people go to one event. So this is very common when you do any type of EWA. And then from this insight, yes, we think, okay, now we can do something in this period of time. So we repair everything we can do to introduce the guest speaker, to make the KOL become very, very big, like make it a viral, and then do BR, do a lot of stuff so that we can pushing the content about guest speaker and the KOL, the influencer, the ambassador for the You Speak Forum in this period of time. And the last period of time we figure out from the data is the deadline for registration is the time that you're gonna get most of the sign up as well. This also applies when you run the objects or asset marketing campaign or any kind of campaign, because the deadline is the time when you got the most of the result. So at this time, you need to have a strong conversion, and then we told to the customer that you have no more chance to apply now. And actually, this logic I also apply when I run the campaign for objects, because I usually don't do the deadline in like 3 month deadline, but then I do it like 1 month deadline. So this month, the end of this month, you can is the deadline for apply 2 months later. The end of this month is the deadline to apply for Indonesia. Then you need to apply now, or you have no chance. And by doing apply this period of this logic, and from the data that we review in the past year of You Speak Forum, then what we have done is in the second touch point, we can balance the number of the sign up for the event, and so that we can show the missing sign up that we missing in the first part from the KOL. And then the second is from the legislature, when the deadline is coming, we also boost most the effort, most of the content, most of production, video, any kind of thing that we can do in this period of time to boost him from call to action. And in this period of time, we achieve the goal. So it's not like super high goal, but then in this period of time, we achieve the goal that we can achieve for True Forum, because at that time we are very ambitious and we do True Forum at the same time and make one of the people that in event manager. So the learning that we can learn from the true story I want to share with you here is like finding the falling step on the ridge is more important. And finding, because when you going through something, the solution is always simple. But then the most important thing and the most critical part, as you can see here, is like which is the part that we need to fix, which is the falling step on the bridge that we need to solve it, so that we can make the whole flow smooth and we can make everything connect to the customer. And it's also gonna be the key message when I want you to do any kind of like campaign review. Solution is simple, but finding the falling point is much more difficult, because you don't know where you need to put your effort, your capacity, and your resource into solving the focus problem that you're having right now. If you scatter your resource in different place, then nothing going well and nothing going to the right point. That's basically. So we don't have a lot of resource, then we need to use our brain, our mind, everything we can have, our critical analytical thinking to find the missing point in everything we are doing, instead of solving everything. Yes, and root cause analysis, data analysis, analytical thinking. This is the thing that this can help you to find the falling part. Now, about campaign review and analysis. So, from the learning that I share with you, I just want to share with you about the root cause analysis model. I think this is the framework that I usually use when I do any kind of like analysis in a marketing performance or any kind of like performance, or anything that you have to do, or maybe you have know about the 5 why, right? It's like, don't need to make it super complicated, as long as that you can see the clearly what is the cost that can, what are all of the costs that create to this problem, and what is the effects. And then from all the costs you are finding, then you can find from the big cost, you can see on a smaller cost and smaller cost, like the example I share with you about the relevance score and the frequency. Actually, that true data is a very small cost that we cannot see from the whole content, because like content is a big root is one of the big root cause. But then what is the smaller root cause that we can see from this part is from a very little data, and by looking through all of the data and then analyze what is the missing and what is the part that not going well, then we figure out that, oh, actually, if we can fix this part, then we can fix the whole content things, for example. And, oh, sorry. And also usually when you're working on a data a campaign review, you can working on the review with the marketing and sales team. So what's wrong with the funnel? So this the funnel is your big root cause that is, and from the big funnel you can have like, okay, some problem coming from the sales team. Maybe they are not doing things well. Maybe they're just lazy to contact the customer. But if they are already contact the customer, then we need to look into the marketing funnel. What's not going well with the marketing funnel? And then we look into the digital campaigns at the example that I just shared with you. And then in any kind of digital campaign, it always have two things: content channel, content channel, content channel. And then from this content channel, it's require you to keep moving forward to look into, okay, from this content and channel, what is the thing going wrong? So for example, in the content, usually you can research to see what is the KPI we usually use to measure our content. Like what the example I share, relevance score, the keyword, the engagement, for example. Whether the content driving the S&D or whether the content is relevant with the customer funnel, with the marketing funnel of engage, aware or something, whether the content is reaching the right target, or it just, or if we are target in the third year, but then the content is very first year, then it's not a good content. So we would review every factor related to it, and also the channel about the pay O and channel that we're talking about in digital ecosystem. Then which channel is going well, which channel is not going well, which data is, which channel is not perform like well in everything basically. So you can look into both of this part. But then also there's one last thing that I didn't mention here, but then you also need to consider if one cover it of everything that you just analyze here, they're gonna be one thing called context. So even you are doing good in everything, but then if the context is still there's something happen, then maybe you need to consider context as one of the root cause analysis as well. But it doesn't mean that you always take the context as an excuse for you. Like I also don't hope that we're gonna use the pandemic as a skill. We're gonna use pandemic as a way that we can find more opportunity, and there must be always a way for us to find how we can do a campaign better. If you haven't seen it, then I just want to show for anyone that if you haven't seen the campaign checklist, so this is the campaign checklist that whenever you want to do any kind of campaign, you can go through here to check if you are missing anything. Okay. And if you want to check in the campaign effectiveness, then you can also go through this thing here to go through one by one. So when I talk about like channel, then you can go through this suggestion and then you can see whether you are doing good or not. When you're talking about content, it's not just writing a post, it's gonna be brand alignment, content mapping, content creation, copywriting, content format, a lot something. So you can look into this as a suggestion to see which factor we are not doing good or not doing right, for example. Then you can not mix so that you will not missing any part in the campaign review. Sorry, what do you sorry? Okay, now because basically I want to let you have a time to talk with each other and then to do a feedback to each other, but we are basically late on agenda, so we don't have time. But it's fine, I can show you so that you can do this also the same with each other. If you are best friend with any MCBB in the team, like in the region, I hope you also can do this. So basically what you can do is you can also do the own assessment for yourself about what is the missing point in the checklist. Oh no, sorry. First, what is the burning question that you have after you run the campaign after a period of time? For example, why I run the campaign a lot, but then I don't have engagement? Why I run the campaign a lot, I have good engagement, but then I don't have sign up, for example. From the burning question, then you're gonna go through the missing in the checklist, like for example, in the campaign planning and deployment, is there anything that I'm missing? Why I'm missing it? Is there any one that didn't perform? And then you're gonna go through the effectiveness that I just shared with you, and then you can go through, like for example, in the content, you're gonna look into content mapping, content writing, content creation, copywriting, keyword, hashtag engagement, everything. And to look into which part have the highest score and which part have the lowest score. And from here, I guess that the part that you can see that, okay, which the part that have lowest score, maybe the team that working on this part didn't do it well or something else. Then you can find the reason why. So you can keep asking yourself on this part. And yes, I share with you that is there any order from the data and the context from your own review that you can like you can relevant to the reason why this thing going wrong well or this thing going wrong or not, because sometimes context gonna affect a lot. And then the most important is what are the insights that you can draw from all of the information. And the insight here is the following point that I just said with you above, like from all of the problem that you have and from every data that you have, what is the single or what is the symbol missing point that you usually have, or what is the insight that you have from the data, so that you can know where you can allocate your resource to solve the solution in this part. Wait, let me see. And after you have done this conversation, something that you can moving forward is thinking about what are the conversation that you should take forward with the objects. So for example, if you see that after you do everything and then the target audience is not something going well, then you can talk with the objects people that or ISEC people or any RBD that we need to change the target audience, for example, and we need to work with LC to do something. So think about the conversation after you got the insight. What are the assumptions, and also very important, what are the assumptions that you want to confirm from the market research after you have the insight? Because sometimes when you do the campaign review, it doesn't mean that this insight can make sense for you. Sometimes it can give you some insight, but then later on you need to do some market research to confirm about it. How? I will share with you in the session about youth market penetration. I will share with you about that scenario so that you can understand about it better. Because sometimes even you got the solution and even sometimes you got the insight, but then you need to do certain market research to confirm the assumption or do market research to find solution for it. Yeah, actually this space I supposed to have a space for you to share the learning, but it's fine. We still can share it later. Just keep in mind that we are shifting the campaign into like more SME aligned. So that's why we have the E2E campaign for GV, sub-product campaign for GT. So if you are running NCAP campaign review and if you are seeing that your S&D is not driving from the marketing campaign, then it's coming from the main top that you are running the campaign as well. So this is one the possible root cause that I can share with you, so that if your objects or Isaac say that, hey, the campaign we are running is not giving any kind of like S&D result, then you can look into how you are running campaign and you can know the reason. Yes. So it's also gonna be the sum up for the whole part. The solution is simple, but then finding the falling point is much more important. And again, a viral campaign can actually bring a brand team that achieve more results than you expect. Because I for sure that you used to see a lot of campaign where it can be very simple, but then because it's very insightful and the message and the insight and the thing that the brand team running is very correct, so that's why it can give you a lot of good feeling. So think about what gonna be the viral campaign that you want to create in the upcoming time, that you want everyone in the region, in your entity, or maybe even global that keep talking, oh, this entity have a very viral campaign that they even can invite, I don't know, BTS, Barack Obama or someone to the campaign and talk about ourselves, for example. Or they can also even doing this and then it's going very viral. So that this can help you to like not on this gonna be not only help you in achieve more result, but it also can be one of your personal achievement in how you can run a good campaign and how you can find make a campaign that not last for that become a legacy one. Yep. And this also gonna be the end of the session. What will be the legacy campaign you want to leave for your NT and asset marketing in overall? that everyone want to talk about it. Everyone want to ask you what for the GCB. Let's think about it, and I wish that you can make it in the upcoming segment. So this is also the end of this day. Um, I think that we need to go to the main plenary. So maybe you can put in the text of marketing group that do you have any question or do you have any concern? So you can put the question later. Okay. Right now, let's just go to the main space of the plenary. Yes. Thank you, guys. See you. Hope everything will be better. Yes, we can do
See
it.
you.
Yes, we can do it. See you. See you.